What's cracking, Dollyverse? I'm Gypsy. You're watching Broken Dolly TV. I'm going to share with you guys my entire Integrity Toys collection, which is not a big collection. I only have like 10 dolls at this time that are Integrity Toys, but I thought I would show you guys some of their details and let you know which ones I have, so you guys can kind of get some ideas of maybe some dolls that you might be into as well. I just want to give a reminder to you guys to make sure that you're subscribed if you want to be entered into the giveaway for the Barbie looks dolls that we have, a full set that we are going to be giving away. Also, in order to enter the giveaway and actually participate, you're gonna have to know facts about this channel and myself. So for those of you who are like diehard fans and those of you who've been following us for a long time, and even the new people who have been diligently watching videos and getting caught up on the older videos, you guys are going to have an advantage over everybody else in this giveaway. And I thought that that would be the fair thing to do, because whoever wins these dolls, I feel like they should definitely be people who are avid doll fans and people who have been, you know, in our corner here on Dollyverse supporting us. So it's kind of like our way of thanking you guys, so that's why I decided to do this particular giveaway this way. So I'll give you guys more details on that very soon. The giveaway is going to go live very, very soon. The notification squad sucks, okay? YouTube's algorithm is really weird, and they do a lot of changes behind the scenes that they don't announce to people. You just kind of find out that that's what it is when you're making videos and there's changes being made. So unfortunately for a lot of the creators who put so much hard work into these videos, and most of us do not get monetarily compensated for it, some of us are putting more time into creating videos for our audience than we do at like a real day-to-day 9-to-5 job. So keep that in mind. Even if you have your notifications turned on, you may not be getting notifications for videos. I know I'm not. I'm subscribed to a lot of different channels and I don't get notifications for them. So you have to come back and check the channel. Make sure that you're not missing anything on your mobile apps. There's like a little screen there where it shows you circular profile pictures of different channels that you guys are subscribed to. When you see a tiny little blue dot in the corner of those circles, that means that those people have new content that they have uploaded. So I hope that this little tip helps you guys to find the videos, because I keep getting people saying, oh my god, I didn't know that you guys had 4 videos up the last time, you know, you uploaded something. I didn't even know. I know, because they're not letting you know. So it's not an accident. But anyway, so I would really appreciate if you guys just come and check the channel every once in a while to see if there's anything new. And also in our community tab over on Instagram as well, we'll be making sure to make posts over there to notify people, so that if you're following us on Instagram, then you should be getting some kind of notification just in our feed alone. Yeah, so just definitely check and be involved. My goal is for our Dollyverse community, especially the adults in Dollyverse, to be able to connect with each other a little bit easier and have more of an open, safe space for us to communicate and like share our love of dolls. Because I don't know about you guys, but in my day-to-day real life, I don't have any dolly friends. I don't know anybody who collects dolls in real life. So like I have one aunt who collects dolls and she lives in Korea. So it's like, so if you guys want to help me to do that, then go ahead by participating on this channel, leave comments, talk to each other. I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos showcasing other collectors who create content on different platforms. Right now I'm starting off with TikTok, but I'm going to be doing it for Instagram as well. So if you guys are already on TikTok and Instagram and you have content, then drop something in the comment section to let me know what your handle is so I can go and find you. And if you have any suggestions of people who's got really awesome content that you think would be great to share, then recommend them so I can go and find their stuff as well. Just keep in mind, if they have a disclaimer on their page saying that they are not open to people sharing their content anywhere, then I'm not going to share those people's content. So if you don't see someone who you suggested being featured in our video, then that's probably why. But other than that, we're totally open to shouting people out, letting people know where you can find more content for adults who like dolls, because I'm so tired of trying to do a scavenger hunt on YouTube for actual adult doll content. It's really difficult, and I cannot be the only person having this issue. So this is my way of contributing and doing that and showing some love to some of these creators who really work hard to make great videos and fun content for us to enjoy. Probably have another couple of reminders like this coming up in some future videos, so don't mind that. If you already know about it, you just skip past that part to the part of the video you want to watch, and I will see you guys in the rest of this video. So let's get started looking at these Integrity Toys dolls. So altogether, I think I have 11 Integrity Toys dolls. And a lot of these people gave to me, so I'll make sure to put their social media information on screen so you guys can find those guys and go check out their pages, because some of these guys have like immaculate collections, way more Integrity Toys dolls than I have, and you're gonna really enjoy looking at their photographs and their other content just to kind of get more familiar with this brand. I'm not that familiar with Integrity, even though I love their products. I don't know that much factually about their products. I'm not going to be the best source for information on that. Definitely some of these people that gave me dolls, they're like really into these Integrity Toys dolls and they know a lot more about them. First, I want to show you my foursome, which were given to me as gifts from one of our viewers, Alfonso, shout out. I did a mail opening video when he sent me this stuff. He gave me 4 Integrity Toys doll heads. I call her Polly, and she's originally a RuPaul sculpt, so she's absolutely meant to look like RuPaul, the actual model. So if you're like, that doll looks like she has a really familiar face, well then that's why. This one has red hair with blonde streaks through it. Her hair is really thickly rooted, like she has a lot of hair, but the strands, each strand of hair is very thin. It kind of moves and flows like real people hair and not like doll hair, but she just has, look at how much hair is in her head, like there's a lot. She's got a full face of makeup, so she'll look really good in anything that looks glam. Long gowns and dresses and things like that will look really good on this doll because of the face up. Though she does have an open mouth where you can see her teeth, she doesn't have a huge grin on her face, like she's not smiling, so it makes it a lot easier to deal with the teeth showing, for me anyways. When they're not smiling dolls, I get really freaked out when the dolls are smiling and all you just see is like lots and lots of teeth, like the Gabby Douglas doll. Oh my gosh, that's like one of my pet peeves. The rest of her is a made to move yellow top doll's body. She matches this body perfectly, so I don't have any issues with it. You know, it's not one of those things where the lighting is making up for the skin tone difference. No, this is like an exact match. Very good match. So I don't know which version of RuPaul this is. I really like this one a lot. The next one here, who I call Derica. And you know, I found out which doll this was. Her sculpt is more like a old school kind of a sculpt. You can see from the way that it's painted, it's more cartoony than some of the other dolls. Like the other dolls look more like they have a realistic facial feature dimensions. This one's more exaggerated. It doesn't look like a fashionistas, how they look really cartoony, or like those mermaid Barbies. This one looks more like for adults. So I really love the way that her face looks. She's a really pretty display doll. She just looks like she has so much personality and character. She also has a little mole right here under her eye, which is the cutest thing ever. And her hair is like platinum blonde. And here's the length of her hair from the back. And she's got like a slight curl at the ends. And for her, I used, I'm not 100%, but I think that this might be the Pool Chic doll's body. She has made to move joints in her knees. Her upper body is just a regular joint, but her skin tone is similar to that and it works for her. It's not 100% a match. Her face is like a shade lighter, like not even a whole shade, maybe a half a shade lighter, almost like she's got foundation on, but it's the same hue as the body, so it works for her. It's not noticeable, and I like her the way that she is on this body. These are probably my favorites of the ones that I was sent by Fonzie. This one here, I call her Xandria, and I think I used her for a skit that we did for Broken Barbie show. Yeah, baby mama drama. Anybody else? This one, she's also on a yellow top body. She has some makeup on. I think I outlined her lips because her lip paint was very light. The other thing that I did was I gave her some baby hair around the edges of her forehead. And that's basically all the sprucing I did for this doll. She is on a yellow top body with made to move joints. Her skin tone is extremely close to yellow top's skin tone. It's the same hue, but like with the other one, Derica, she's got like quarter of a shade difference. That is so hard to tell when you're looking at the doll in person. It's even hard to tell on camera. I don't even know if it's worth mentioning, but it is what it is. I just mentioned these things to let you guys know you don't have to have an exact match for your dolls when you're trying to rebody them for joints, as long as you can get away with it. If it's like 2 shades difference, I feel like you're really pushing it, bro. But depending on how you take your pictures, it may not matter only you will know that it's not the right color skin tone. Don't be afraid to just experiment with mixed matching bodies and heads if you guys are trying to figure out how to rebody your dolls to match the right skin colors. And then the one over on the right hand side is Drucilla. Drew is originally, I want to say, what the heck is she? She's got the same head sculpt as the NYASHA doll that I was like obsessed with, like as soon as I found out about that doll. And then I realized that I have this head sculpt, and then I was like, okay, calm down, why didn't I notice that before? But you know, she looks different from her because she's a different skin tone from that doll, but it is the exact same head sculpt. She's got the dimples and everything, so subtle. But right here on the side of her lip there's a dimple. Yeah, she just looks different because her hairstyle is different and her skin tone is different, but I really love her face and I like her a lot. And then this one, Drew, which is also another beautiful sculpt. Her lips are like my favorite. The way that they're shaped, she does have an open mouth. You can see a very slight bit of her teeth. The way that the lips are sculpted, detail that they put into these lips are just unbelievable. Like there's like wrinkles and ridges in there. I mean, they just look so real. Integrity does such a good job of these tiny little details in the face sculpts without making their heads oversized, and the way that they paint the dolls' faces, they just look so adult, so grown, so Vogue. It's something else. It's really a work of art. I mean, as cliche as that sounds, it really is. Hairline, I just gave her some baby hairs. She's also on a yellow top made to move doll's body. Now the only thing about Integrity toys you need to keep in mind is that their heads are very hard. So when you want to do anything where you want to remove the head, you're going to have to heat the doll's head. I'm considering possibly, I don't know for sure, but I'm considering putting one of them onto a made-to-move curvy body. It's probably gonna end up being Drew, but I don't know for sure because I have to heat the heads, like I said. To do that, I'd have to really be in the mood to do that and have like 3 or 4 dolls lined up that I'm trying to do swaps for. So I don't know what's gonna end up happening. All right, so let's talk about Ariadne here, who I actually named after another doll I used to have that I ended up selling. So sometimes when I get rid of dolls, but I like a doll that I liked that had a name, I will end up transferring that name to another doll later. So I don't have 2 Ariadnes, I have only 1 at the moment. Ariadne is a gift from Back to Seoul, who sent me a couple of these dolls that were purchased on eBay for like a really good deal. I was really appreciative, and I had, at the time, I probably only had 1 or 2 other Integrity Toys dolls. So this was a really fun addition to my collection. Her face up is just perfect, you guys. Look at her lips. They're so luscious. They are like this perfect burgundy color with an outline around her lips. 90s style, right? I wish Barbie would do their face ups like this for their darker complexion dolls. Ugh, I don't know what's up with the neon colors, but like, bro, that is too much. This doll has a full face of makeup on, but she just looks, it looks very natural on her. It doesn't look exaggerated. She don't look attention deprived. Like, she don't look like she about to go to a disco. She just looks like, it just looks like everyday makeup that I see Black women wear all the time, and especially in these darker skin tones. You gotta be so careful about how bright you make the makeup on the doll, because it just ends up looking ridiculous on some of these darker tones. But I just love the way that they did it with her. And this doll is actually like, I think this is one of the older sculpts, the older versions of these dolls. Janae is the character that she's supposed to be for Integrity. She did not come with this luscious hair though. Her hair was really iffy. Like, it looked better in the box than it did in person when he took her out of the box. I think it was very sparsely rooted, so I ended up sending her head to Cutie Erica on Instagram, who gave me a really awesome deal, and I had her rerooted. So this hair that's in her head right now is the hair that Erica rooted for me, and she did such an excellent job. The hair actually came all the way down to her knees, but I ended up trimming it because it was too long. I gave it a little bit of texture. When she did it originally, it was straight hair. So actually, if you go on Cutie Erica's page, you'll be able to see some of the photos that she took at her own doll studio before she sent the doll to me, and she's posed with some of her dolls, and they just look so good together. And you guys know Cutie Erica is like the top notch, one of the top photographers for dolls on Instagram and wherever else her social media is for her dolls. So you have got to be following her, at least on one of them. Go find her and follow her so you do not miss a thing. You'll learn so much about how to pose your dolls, how to set your lighting up for your photography. She has a really cool technique when she's rooting the doll's hair to make it so that the doll's hair doesn't just be like really poofy and big even though it's full. You can actually pay her for commission to do that. Just go ahead and ask her if she still has openings for that, and she'll let you know. And then speaking of cutie Erica, once again, Griselda here, who's one of my favorite dolls in my entire collection. This doll was given to me as a gift by cutie Erica as well. She is a twin to a different doll that's in the Integrity Toys line, but they're slightly different. One doll has like a more serious look, which I think is this one, and then the other one has a more relaxed look, but they're very, very, very similar looking because they're supposed to be twins, but you can tell the difference if you know how to look for the difference in them. So she actually got this doll as part of a set, but she just wanted the other sister and, you know, and all the stuff that the doll came with, and she just had like one doll left. So she sent me the new doll, and at the time when I got her, her hair was tied in a very high ponytail that for years I have been terrified to take down because I was sure she was gonna have a big giant gaping bald spot in the middle of her head because of how tight the ponytail was. When it was tied up, I was actually wrong. I mustered up the courage to finally take it down, and so now her hair is down, and she does have sparse rooting. See, you can see her scalp, but it's not a little bit of hair, and it's not a situation where like in the front of her head when you move the hair around it's just gonna be just bald spots everywhere. It's just not that kind of hair. So yeah, and this doll is super tall. She's even taller on her stand, so I'm trying to get her in my shot for you guys so you can see her easier. But yeah, so her hair is just, it's really nice. It's very soft, doesn't tangle. I had it braided in box braids for a little while just to kind of like settle it because the hair is rooted so that it will go up into a ponytail. You can set the hair in the direction you want it to fall, and so I had to do that with this doll, but for the most part I got the job done. And that's why you see some crinkly textures in her hair where it's like slightly wavy, because she had braids in her hair before I took it out. But this hair is just very nice. It's very soft. My favorite thing about this doll is, of course, her face, but not just the way her face looks. I love the expression on her face. Like, she's so very no nonsense, very serious. When people used to go to like the Catholic schools and they'd have nuns for teachers and they would talk about how strict the teachers were. That's what she reminds me of. Like, if she was just like, if she was a nun who works at a school, I would believe that she's like that teacher who's always like threatening you to smack you with a ruler if you don't act right. Like, you know, she don't play. Like, that's how she looks to me. Yeah, but she's just very beautiful, and she has a very European look. She's also my tallest Integrity Toys female doll. Last but not least of the females, let me show you my Poppy Parker dolls. So first there's Wailani here, who is my very first Integrity Toys doll and my Grail Integrity Toys doll. She has the Poppy sculpt, of course, and this sculpt is my favorite sculpt of all time, of all dolls. Every kind of doll that exists that's a fashion doll, she's my favorite sculpt so far. Wailani was originally the Polynesian version of Poppy Parker. She came with, you know, the full outfit and everything, and I purchased her, but this doll was a gift nonetheless by my dolly friend Joseph over in, I want to say, where are you, Joseph? Are you in Texas? I always think everybody's in Texas. I don't know, but hopefully I'm right. Anyway, let me put his Instagram up here for you guys to go follow him as well. So Joseph was like, hey, do you want a Poppy Parker doll? And I was like, are you joking? And he was like, no, I'll get you one. So he bought this for me. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. She is really special to me. I'll never part with this doll. This is an heirloom doll for me. It's gonna go down in the generations to my children and their children and their children. Like I told my son already, there's a handful of dolls that you can never sell. Even after I die, you gotta pass it on to the next generation as an heirloom so that I will be remembered. You know what I'm saying? Everything else in my collection, y'all can do whatever you want to do with it, you know? So this is definitely one of those dolls in that category. I love her. And she's wearing a hanbok dress right now that I had purchased on eBay. Part of her dress came from eBay and part of her dress came from another Barbie doll, the Princess of Korea Barbie doll. I kind of mix matched the pieces. I did attempt to straighten this doll's hair because it was a lot more wavy than this. Like the doll had some curls at the bottom of the hair, some big giant curls. And it was just very poofy. And she has a lot of hair on her head, but her face is so tiny. So I just flat ironed it so that I could make it a little bit closer to her scalp. It's still kind of big, but it's a little bit more calm looking. And this one is actually side glancing. But once again, the appeal of Integrity Toys dolls for moi is their serious facial expressions. So I just love how serious she looks. That's part of the reason why I like Poppy Parker dolls so much. So pretty, but she's so serious. Wailani is actually on a Made to Move body. She's not on her original body because her original body at the time when I got her, it was really floppy. Like the joints weren't strong and she was so skinny and just very thin, and like it threw me off. I didn't really know how to handle that body because it was my only Integrity Toys doll at the time. I was just very, very uncomfortable handling the body. It seemed fragile. So even though it was aesthetically pleasing, very beautifully sculpted, I didn't know what to do with it. So I ended up giving her a head transplant onto a Made to Move first wave blue top. Her body seemed like a pretty decent match. And then Wailani's original body, I think I swapped onto a Barbie head. So she's been on this body ever since, and she likes it just fine. Somebody told me I was devaluing her because I put her onto a Barbie body. And I was like, bruh, relax. I'm not devaluing nothing. I don't care about the value of my dolls going up or down if they're dolls that I have in my collection to enjoy, redress, rebody, pose, display, do anything where I'm hands-on interacting with the doll. I don't care about the value going up or down. To me, the value is at its highest. So that's all I care about. And I feel the same way when I see other people's dolls that I'm like, oh, I really want that head sculpt. Even if it's not in its original condition, even if they change the clothes, even if they swap the bodies, even if it had no body, to me, the value does not change. I would still want the doll if it was something that I could customize and do something with. Serafina, she's my second Poppy Parker doll. This is one that Adonis purchased for me this year. And she is really beautiful, of course. She has the exact same head sculpt as my other Poppy doll. And a different skin tone and a different face up. The coloring on her face is like bronze and golden colors. Very subtle, but it's definitely there. And she's just immaculate. I don't even know. Like, there's no words to describe how pretty this doll is to me. You guys can get a better look of her close up, but judge for yourself. I mean, what do you think? She is on her original body still. And for the Integrity Toys dolls, it's very customary for them to come with removable joints like this so you can dress them easier and put on their jewelry a lot easier. Most of the entire body is made this way where you can pop the arms on and off, the legs on and off from the knees, but I don't really mess with it because, man, listen, I've had dolls that supposedly you are supposed to be able to take joints on and off of them, and then if you're not careful, you could just break something. So I don't even bother doing all of that stuff. The only thing I take on and off for this doll is her wrists. So Serafina comes with removable wrists. She does not have any joints in her feet. She has high heel feet that are the same size as Barbie doll feet. So I don't have to remove them. She can get into everything a Barbie can get into. Wailani, on the other hand, her original body, she did have removable feet. Speaking of body parts, over here in the corner, Adney, she actually is not on her original body either. I forgot to mention. So Adney's body originally did not have joints. She had kind of like clicking joints because it was a very old school style body, like from the 90s. And when I had sent her to Erica to have her head rerouted, Erica happened to have an Integrity Toys extra body just laying around that was the same color as this head. So she gifted me this body for her, and she sent her back on a body, totally unexpected. And I really appreciate her doing that because she didn't have to do that. But these bodies are like kind of hard to get a hold of because the darker skin tones are really popular and people will just buy them all up. I'm so blessed that she was nice enough to do that, and I love how seamless this body is. And it turns out that her body is the same skin tone as Serafina over here, so they can actually do a body swap if I ever wanted to, although I don't need to because they have pretty much the same joints, but I think that their bodies are slightly different sculpts. So I'll have to take their clothes off to take a better look at it to compare the two. But yeah, I think that they're sculpted a little bit differently. Yeah, so those are all of my girls, and then I'll show you my boys. I only have 3. All of my boys were purchased by Adonis. And you guys, I know you guys are like, no, you have more than this. I did have one more Integrity Toys doll who I called Willow. The Fan Shi doll, I put so much thought into trying to figure out which doll I wanted to get, and I wanted something that looked kind of Asian, I guess. So I went with that one, and I did like her a lot. However, it was very awkward trying to dress her because of her body size. Over time, I don't know what it was, but something about her face sculpt, it was very angular, and it was just starting to like get on my nerves after a while. I don't know exactly what it was, but something about the doll, I just wasn't vibing with her when I got her in person over time. And I didn't like the way that her hair was rooted, because she also had a very high ponytail like Griselda came with. That doll was the reason why I thought Griselda was gonna have a bald spot in her head. I don't miss her. So I'm okay. But yeah, but including that doll, I would have had 12. But I'm okay that I don't have that doll anymore, because I just feel like, guys, you gotta really love the stuff in your collection. You're the person who has to look at it every day. Like, if this doll was just the most poppin' Integrity male doll right now, just by popular demand, that's not a good enough reason to add him to your collection if you don't like the doll. I was experimenting. I was still learning about Integrity Toys dolls, so I don't regret the purchase. She didn't really cost that much. She was probably like $60, which is cheap for an Integrity Toys doll. New with everything that she normally was supposed to come with. So these are my 3 boys. Let's start with the oldest, which is Adonis right here, and he is part of the My Little Pony series that they had with all kinds of funky colors and just really cool outfits. I don't dress him like that. I don't dress him with all the bright colors myself, because to me he just doesn't look like he would be dressing like that, I guess. But I haven't done any alterations to this doll. I do plan on fixing up his hair a little bit, because he still has the original gel in his hair, which makes it totally stiff. It does not move on his head. It's just like glued down the way that it came. So I am going to try and loosen up the hair by removing the gel, and you can see he's got flocking on the edges, and the flocking is like a slightly different color from his hair. The flocking's brown and his hair is like a very dark brown, and he's got some super sharp eyebrows. They're like really arched, because to me this level of arched eyebrows on him just makes him look like a magician, like he's gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat or something. Like, that's just how he looks to me. But his sculpt is very handsome, and Integrity just does a spectacular job when it comes to their head sculpts of all of their different characters. I don't think I've seen Integrity Toys dolls that I don't like. You know, I see ones that I like most or better than others, but I really haven't seen any that I don't like it. Yeah, and Adonis is on his original body. He is wearing pants that came with an Integrity Toys doll, and his attire on his upper body is Barbie doll clothes. And I think maybe that jacket came with a Fresh Dolls, maybe. But he definitely, you can remove his wrists, you can remove his feet, so you can get him in and out of some clothes, which I do with my boy dolls more than with the female dolls, because they're just massive. Over here, we've got Juhnjin, and he is originally from the Industry line. Tate Tanaka, I think, is the character's name. And he's got a similar hairstyle where the edges of his hair is flocked and then the top part is rooted, and it's a hot mess right now, but I removed the gel from his hair, and then normally I would like wet it before I style it. It's not really styled right now, but I ain't worried about it. He's got pierced ears that he came with, and his outfit is actually a handmade outfit that my son made for me. He sewed it for me. His pants belonged to this doll here next to him. The top that he's wearing, it's a 2-piece. So this is like the vest that goes over the top, and then there's another piece underneath here. And basically my son, he designs hanbok clothes, which are like Korean traditional clothes, along with he also designs other traditional clothes. Like, he'll incorporate Japanese style clothing as well as Chinese style clothing into the pieces that he makes, and then he'll like mix match them all together, and it somehow just works. So he actually wears clothes like this in real life. Like Ginu, he wears this stuff to school that he makes at home. And he was like, yeah, I'll make you one for your doll. So he made me an outfit for my doll, and I just wanted to see how he would look in like traditional clothing. I love it. Looks really good on him. And so he is supposed to be an Asian guy. Tate Tanaka's character is probably Japanese, but I made Juhnjin a Korean dude. So I don't know. He looks a lot like one of my cousins. Well, the way that my cousin looked when he was a kid, if I imagine what he would look like as an adult, that's what I would imagine his face would look like. But I haven't seen my cousin since we were kids. I don't know where he is. I have no idea how to find him. So I just kind of memorialized him into my doll. This character here, Nadeem, who you guys see sometimes popping up being sarcastic in my videos. This is a newer doll that was released in the Monarch series for the boys through Integrity Toys. And he also is a twin. So he's supposed to have a brother. They don't come together. You have to purchase them separately, but the brother has the same face sculpt, and he has a shorter hair. I think that doll has flocked hair maybe. We went with this one because of the rooted hair, and the outfit that he came with seems pretty cool. His body is not the same as the other two boys. They're slightly different. The sculpt for the bodies are a little bit different, and sizing for clothes with these guys, you know, it's a little bit of a challenge. Their hips and their torso and their waist area is a little wider than regular Ken dolls, even though they're very skinny. Like, I don't know how that happens, but it does. It is. So it's a challenge trying to figure out what kind of clothes can fit on these guys. The looser, the better, but that doesn't always look good. So yeah, you definitely have to do some experimenting with these dudes, or get them special clothes that's gonna fit them better, which is another reason why I love their dolls, especially when they come with their actual clothes. And see, like these pants, those are Integrity pants. You know, you can see the little buttons. It even has a zipper that works, and there's a button up here, and then the little patches around the knees, the shine of the denim that they used for this, like, it's just very, 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 very good details. The sewing job that they do, it's very good. It's not like just slapped together. You can feel the quality in the clothes when you're handling it. I have to appreciate that level of artistry and detail that people are putting into these products. For those prices, I mean, dang, I would hope they were putting some kind of work into it, but it definitely shows. Some of the things that Integrity Toys does, price-wise, it doesn't make sense to me. Like these boy dolls, the given price for them now is like starting at $200 retail, which is crazy because by the time they make it to eBay or somewhere else where third parties are selling them, oh man, the prices are like insane. He's the only one that I got directly from Integrity. That concerns me a little bit. I mean, what can you do about it? We don't have enough competition out here in the doll, manufacturing game for these guys to do it any other way. So I understand where that whole thing comes from business-wise, but I mean, dang. As a consumer, it's like, okay, I want to spend more money with y'all. Just like, dang, I don't want to have to plan and research to death every time I want to make a purchase. I just want to be able to buy it like I do with my Barbie dolls, But anyway, so I just want to show you guys these dolls just to give you some perspective on ways that you can collect Integrity without spending $1 million. I highly suggest that y'all go online and shop around, go to AliExpress and try to see if you can find some sculpt heads or dolls that they have there, because sometimes AliExpress has Integrity doll faces, like just their heads, and they'll sell them just the heads, and you can put whatever body you want to put onto it. That's a way to do it. If you're on a budget, there's nothing wrong with that. And please, you guys, y'all can't get so hung up on people being like, that's fake. It's not the real thing. Get the heck out of here. It's plastic, okay? It's plastic, it's vinyl. It's what you say that it is. If you're going to customize and put the doll together and kind of Frankenstein the parts together so it works at the end of the day, who actually cares? And if you do care, like, why? Why do you care if somebody else's doll is or isn't the real, legit, original pieces, unless it's some doll that's supposed to be, like, worth $1 million? I don't get it. You feel me? I just don't get it. I don't know why other grown-ups would care about something like that, especially if you're not reselling the doll and pretending that it's the real thing. Like, why do they care so much? I really don't know, but I don't care. So whatever works for you is what works for you. More power to you if you figure out ways to Frankenstein doll parts together and just create your own things. Shout out to Frosty from Seasonal Frostbite. Like, that's why I love her style as an artist so much, because she'll do things like that. She'll really just like totally like transform the doll so it doesn't even seem like the original version that she started with, and just make it her own. And who cares, like, as long as it looks good when you're done, right? It's art. So don't be discouraged by people saying things like that. If you're new to this, or even if you've been here for a while collecting and people start raising weird concerns about whether or not your dolls are real or originals or not, or devalued because you did something to the doll, do not let these people guilt you into thinking that you're not collecting properly, because there is no proper way to collect. Everybody does it the way that they do it. You either like it or you don't like it, and if they say something to you about it, well, there's plenty of other people you can follow and watch and critique than me. Bye, right? Gotta have confidence. So I hope this helped you guys to do that, and drop it in the comments which doll you like the best. I always tell you guys the names of my dolls when I can remember to do it, so that you'll have an easier time identifying them, and I'll know exactly which doll you're referring to when you ask me questions, so I can answer your questions easier. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm going to show you guys some of that stuff that I got back there. We'll talk to you later. Have a dolly day. Cooperate. Don't be hard-headed. Let's just get this over with. God.
Closed session in this motherfucker.